Subtract the following decimal. First sum 1.25 minus 0.2. These are unlike decimals. So convert them into like decimals and subtract. This is having 2 decimal places. This is having 1 decimal place. So write 1 0 to the right of 2 so that it becomes a decimal with 2 decimal places. So we can write this as 1.25 minus 0.20. Now these are like decimals. So write these decimals one below the other and subtract. Write 1.25 minus 0.20. See that decimal point of this decimal is exactly below the decimal point of this decimal. Then 0 will be below 1, 2 will be below 2, 0 will be below 5. Now ignore the decimal point and subtract this number as we subtract whole number. 5 minus 0 is 5. Write 5 here. 2 minus 2 is 0. Write 0 here. 1 minus 0 is 1. Write 1 here. Now put the decimal point exactly below the decimal point. That is, we have to put the decimal point between 1 and 0. So it becomes 1.05. 1.25 minus 0.2 is 1.05. Next sum 21.39 minus 15.1. These are unlike decimals. So convert them into like decimals and subtract. Here there are 2 decimal places. Here there is 1 decimal place. So write 1 0 to the right of 1 so that it becomes a decimal with 2 decimal places. So we can write this as 21.39 minus 15.10. Now these are like decimals. Write 1 decimal below the other and subtract. Write 21.39 minus 15.10. See that decimal point of the decimal is exactly below the decimal point of the decimal. Then 1 will be below 2, 5 will be below 1, 1 will be below 3, 0 will be below 9. Now ignore the decimal point and subtract this number as we subtract whole number. 9 minus 0 is 9. Write 9 here. 3 minus 1 is 2. So write 2 here. Now we have to subtract 5 from 1. 1 is less than 5. So get 1 borrow from the neighboring digit. When 1 is borrowed, this becomes 11. And 2 gets reduced by 1 and this becomes 1. Now we have to subtract 5 from 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. So write 6 here. Now we have to subtract 1 from 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So write 0 here. Now put the decimal point exactly below the decimal point. That is, we have to put the decimal point between 6 and 2. So it becomes 06.29 or 6.29. 21.39 minus 15.1 is 6.29. Next sum 200.3 minus 10.102. These are unlike decimals. So convert them into like decimals and subtract. Here there is 1 decimal place. Here there are 3 decimal places. So write 2 zeros to the right of 3 so that it becomes a decimal with 3 decimal places. So we can write this as 200.300 minus 10.102. Now these are like decimals. So write these decimals one below the other and subtract. Write 200.300 minus 10.102. See that decimal point of the decimal is exactly below the decimal point of the decimal. Then 1 will be below 0, 0 will be below 0, 1 will be below 3, 0 will be below 0, 2 will be below 0. There will be no digit below 2. Now ignore the decimal point and subtract these numbers as we subtract whole number. First we have to subtract 2 from 0. 0 is less than 2, so get 1 borrow from the neighboring digit. Neighboring digit is 0, so get 1 borrow from the next neighboring digit. Then this becomes 10, this becomes 9, and 3 gets reduced by 1 and it becomes 2. Now 10 minus 2 is equal to 8, so write 8 here. 9 minus 0 is equal to 9, write 9 here. 2 minus 1 is 1, so write 1 here. 0 minus 0 is 0, so write 0 here. Now we have to subtract 1 from 0. 0 is less than 1, so get 1 borrow from the neighboring digit. So it becomes 10 and 2 gets reduced by 1 and this becomes 1. Now 10 minus 1 is equal to 9, so write 9 here. There is 1 here, no digit here to subtract, so write 1 here. Now put the decimal point exactly below the decimal point. That is, we have to put the decimal point between 0 and 1. So this becomes 190.198. So 200.3 minus 10.102 is equal to 190.198.